Got some Tay Kinney updates. This is the third best point guard in the class of 2026. He's a stud playing with overtime elite, yada yada. We know Tay Kinney. We talk about him every single week on this channel. He is taking an official visit to Kentucky in the next week. This is new news. This is big. He was recently at Louisville. And by all accounts, as we have mentioned, it is shaping up to be Mark Pope versus Pat Kelsey, Kentucky versus Louisville, toe to toe. Throw your money on the table and let's see who's got what. I'm excited. However, there's still some other teams trying to sneak Tay Kinney involvement here. Indiana's trying to work their way into this, and Tay Kinney is still talking about Purdue and Texas a little bit as well in interviews with On3. So, where do you stand with all of this? Let's start with the fact that Tay Kinney is going to Kentucky roughly, I think, 2 weeks after he just went to Louisville. Is this another chess move by Mark Pope in your mind?
Look, I think that obviously Kentucky's always been an option, and they were always going to get a visit. And I'm sure that even at the Team USA under 19 camp, where Mark Pope was, I think the official title is on-court assistant, which was like he was part of the evaluation process, but he's not actually on the staff that's going over to Switzerland. I'm sure that he was in Tay Kenny's ear, and I'm sure that Jasper Johnson was also in Tay Kenny's ear. Him and Jasper are very, very close, given they played for OTE together. And then Malachi Moreno, obviously being a Kentucky guy, he was for sure also in Tay Kenny's ear. So look, I think that Kentucky has a very real shot at him, and I think that Mark Pope he seemingly does a great job with kids from the state of Kentucky, and does a great job with making that bond and that mold. And it's this is shaping up to be a Pat Kelsey versus Mark Pope mano a mano, and we're gonna have to see who comes out on top. But it is good that Kentucky's still very in on him and getting a visit, and probably trying to pull at the hometown strings as well as probably Louisville's doing the same.
Yeah, I feel like I just love this recruitment because it really is Kentucky versus Louisville. And respectfully to Indiana and Purdue who are still involved, I mentioned Texas. There are other schools here, but I'd just be stunned if Tay Kinney goes anywhere that's not Louisville or Kentucky. I would be shocked, or there would be a big twist in this recruitment. And Tay Kinney updated his timeline here. He said that he wants to commit before the season. He plans to announce his college destination by November. So he's got a quicker timeline than a lot of the quote unquote elite recruits in college basketball. And he says he's going to cut his list soon, cut it down to 6. So I don't know. I can promise you Kentucky and Louisville will be in those 6. I would guess Purdue and Indiana will. And then you're probably choosing from like Texas, Arkansas. I don't even know who else. It might just be those 6, to be honest with you. I think Oregon's still in the mix. Want to run through a couple quotes. Jamie Shaw had another update for On3, and I'll read a couple quotes from these, but go subscribe to On3 so you can read the full articles. We know Tay Kinney was just at the Team USA camp. Mark Pope was coaching there. KSR had some pictures where Mark Pope was getting some one-on-one time with Tay Kinney after practice, kind of like rebounding for him, doing that whole thing. Pat Kelsey made his way into this gym. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
So while Team USA training camp was underway and Mark Pope is on the staff, Pat Kelsey just found his way to get in there. And he was courtside watching this, making sure if Mark Pope's getting any private time with Tay Kinney, I'm going to grab him after practice too. Tay Kinney talked at the Team USA training camp where he ended up getting cut from, which surprised me because he was named one of the standouts. But this was his quote at the Team USA camp. He said, playing overseas, they play more pass and cut, get the perfect shot. We force a lot of shots over here. I mean, they're shots we work on, but sometimes they're forced. USA basketball is a great opportunity to compete against some of those college guys like Michael Brown and guys like that. This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. And they're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
Please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New York.
New York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's it's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video. He could have singled out Jasper Johnson, who's his teammate at Overtime Elite, who's going to Kentucky, who he certainly has a great relationship. Oh, a great opportunity to play against Jasper. No, he singled out Louisville's commit, Michael Brown, arguably the best guard on Team USA's U19 team. Does that mean anything to you? That felt noteworthy to me.
How noteworthy in what way? I'm interested to see which way you're approaching this.
I mean, I'll lay my cards on the table here. I think this kid's going to Louisville.
Really?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the kid that just signed to Adidas that is name dropping Louisville guards as the reason he enjoyed Team USA's camp, that has only effusive praise to mention on Louisville. And you listen to it, like, he likes Kentucky too. He has good things to say about Purdue. I could run through those, but you hear him talk about Louisville. We are talking with Louisville all the time. I talk with Pat Kelsey all the time. He talks with my family multiple times a week. It's great when I go there. It's just different than, yeah, I'm talking to the assistant over there. Yeah, PJ Thompson runs good offense. Yeah, like, it's just different. That's what I think is happening here, Cart.
Yeah, I do think the Adidas thing is real too. And like even diving further into it, and this could be completely wrong. This is just the scenarios that come through my head. Michael Brown's gonna start for Louisville this year, barring probably maybe some unforeseen circumstances, right?
Yeah, I think he's the best guard on Louisville, yeah.
Any freshman guards on Kentucky?
Jasper,
Is he starting?
he might end up starting.
He might end up starting.
He might.
He might. Okay. I mean, look, it's a very short time period here, right? And things can change. But, over time, I think this is going to take a little bit more shape and form. But it'll be interesting to see how freshmen in general, but freshman guards are handled at each university. Because obviously in the first year at Louisville, they didn't really have any freshman guards in the fold that I know of. But like this year, they get an elite guard, Michael Brown. He'll be starting. Kentucky is Jasper Johnson, and Mark Pope went out and still got a point guard and another guard in Denzel Aberdeen. So, and I'm not saying that's the wrong choice by Mark Pope, but I'm saying there might be a philosophical difference on how these two coaches maybe act as far as like playing freshmen.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's going to be interesting. But look, I just because I believe Louisville has the inside track here doesn't mean I don't think Kentucky could steal this and flip this. Like, I think Kentucky getting an official visit this weekend is massive.
If they do pull this off, I want this very much known. Mark Pope
Yeah,
grabbed grabbed Pat Kelsey by his collar, took his black glasses off, snapped them, said, "Come here, get out of here." Flipped them. All 6'10" of Mark Pope. Doop, flip him out of the way. Because that's a bag him up if I've ever seen it. Because you looked Pat Kelsey dead in his eyes, looked down, looked him dead in his eyes, and they looked Adidas dead in their eyes too. And said, "That's really, really cute. Make sure you
yeah.
send his shoes to 123 Lexington Way because he's gonna have to strap him up, and he wants a blue colorway and a white one, and they're gonna look great in our Kentucky Nike jerseys."
Honestly, I need him to commit to Kentucky just so we can clip that when it happens. That was special from you.